Last year, I made a video detailing the history of the Minecraft servers my friends and I host. In that video, I covered an event that occurred on April 4th, 2015, in which a non-whitelisted player named RevelationIV joined our game mysteriously in the middle of the night, only to vanish and never return. It's an intriguing story, one of many in these older worlds of ours, and it has always allured me, always remaining in the back of my mind that we still don't know who this is. Questions always bounce around in my head about that night. Who was this person? How did they do this? Why our server? Was it out of malice? Was our server in danger that night? I've always wanted to know. I've tried searching before, even doing some research for the original secret video, but to no avail. But why bother digging through this mystery any further? At the end of the day, this is just a silly instance from a Minecraft server almost a decade ago, which lasted about 30 seconds and isn't worth all that much discussion. I found RevelationIV, or StiltN223 as he is known these days. I realized how I could find him through an epiphany that had awoken me one fateful night earlier this year. I'm going to leave out exactly how I did that out of this video, out of respect for his privacy. As a shot in the dark, I sent a message asking if he'd hacked Minecraft servers 10 years ago, not knowing if I'd found the right RevelationIV. To my amazement, he responded with an openness for the conversation. I had a dozen questions I wanted to ask, but realized the best way to get my point across was to show him Exhibit A. It turns out this was indeed him. He confirmed that this was his old username, and I proceeded with inquiries. I wanted to know the how and why. How did he get here? And why the Stolen Anvil? It turns out he was using something called Shodan, a search engine for connected systems across the internet to find servers with vulnerabilities. Unsurprisingly, my server of Elmer's Glue and Hope was an easy target, but it was a random chance occurrence that we were one of the servers he stumbled upon. Apparently on one of the servers he connected to, he actually spoke to some people before he was kicked. And looking through the old server logs I recently realized I apparently only missed him by 20 minutes. Perhaps if I wasn't AFK at the time, we could have had a friendly chat. Now he had some questions for me. First and foremost, how did I manage to find him? I can understand how that was his first question, given that this whole thing is pretty weird, and certainly out of the blue. After all, this was 9 years ago. I explained the trail that led me to him, and he seemed to get some kind of kick out of the whole thing, luckily, even lamenting those old Minecraft days, much like I did for 30 minutes last year. To not take up too much of his time or drag this out even further, I signed off by thanking him for answering my questions and humoring the whole thing. So there you go. Some closure to what I think was the biggest mystery within the Stolen Anvil series so far. It turns out RevelationIV is a real guy, not some ghostly happening that haunts my dreams. He meant no harm to our server. He was a crafter like us, surfing the internet, seeing where the road takes him. Just goes to show you never know how the dumb little things we do online affect our fellow web surfers. Maybe something you did 9 years ago is stuck with someone all these years later. And who knows, maybe you'll cross paths with them again someday.